Happy day there, YouTubers and fellow internet peoples. It is Thursday, November the 14th, and the customer on that Tacoma picked it up yesterday and dropped this vehicle off. This will be his third vehicle I've done that belongs to him. This one is kind of a curiosity. Should be a little bit of a challenge, but not too severe. As you might can tell, it's starting to rain and it's kind of chilly, so I'll be bundling up and putting on my rain suit before I get ready to strip wash this thing. It is a 1995 basic Toyota Tercel, I believe it is. I mean, this is a basic entry-level car, no electric windows, has window cranks to adjust the rear view mirrors on the outside. You have to roll the window down and adjust that mirror manually. You can't even adjust it from inside the car. So it's a basic car. But he bought it, I think he said about 3 years ago, just as a runaround car. Paid only hundreds of dollars for it. And it mechanically, it seems to run like a top. And he had a very cheap paint job put on it, which surprisingly enough is not terrible. I don't know how durable it is or how fragile it might be, but it seems to be holding up rather well. But there are certain spots that will begin to fade, as it has faded a little bit. And there's a lot of contaminants on it that will start to degrade this paint rather quickly, and that's the main thrust of what we're going to do to this car. We're not going to go in deep detailing like we did on the Tacoma and some of those other vehicles. He just don't want to spend that kind of money on a car he didn't pay a whole lot of money for, and it's just a runaround. It's just not worth to him to spend a lot of money on it, and that's okay. So it's a budget detail. So what we're going to do is me in this crappy weather, I'm going to strip wash it. Y'all have heard me describe that process before. Then I'll foam it. Well, first I'll pre-rinse it and see what we can get off with the power washer. Then I'll foam it, let that stuff dwell, rinse that off. Then we'll do a contact strip wash. Probably use that Meguiar's Wash Plus that you've seen me use before, to scrub as many contaminants off the paint as I possibly can. That way, get it as clean as possible, remove any wax or protectant that might still be on there. I doubt if there is any. If there is, there's not much. And then we'll pull it into the garage and I'll dry it, forced air dry it, and then I'll paint prep it, and then probably clay bar it once again with that synthetic clay bar I showed y'all on some of those last videos. I'll try to show y'all some of this stuff again using the ONR as my clay lube. And then we'll do what is called a one-step polish, and that's probably all this one's going to get. I may spend a little time on his headlights, which aren't that bad. It looks like they may have been replaced at one time or another. And I'll probably just buff them up real good. I won't do all the wet sanding and all those other steps. Probably put a little ceramic coating on them because that doesn't take long. But I went over this car pretty good yesterday. I'll try to spiff up his trim a little bit. It's got some white discoloration in places in the door handles and that kind of stuff, just to spiff it up. It's got some defects like you might expect with a cheap paint job, but whoever painted it, even though it's a cheap paint job, I did a relatively good job. I was kind of impressed. The main difference being that these cheap paint jobs, even when they look good, tend not to look good for very long, or as long as a factory paint job or a high-end paint job. There's some kind of defect here. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm not sure what that is. I'll see if I can make that go away as much as possible. And it's been dinged and donged in a few places, which you might expect out of a daily driver. In the front, he hit a deer, or somebody hit a deer, and so there's the front bumper's messed up a little bit. Nothing I can do about that either. Not going to be doing the interior. He don't want to even worry about that. Not this go around, maybe later. But if you look down low, you can see there's a good many contaminants on this paint. And when I was looking at it yesterday, I found tree sap in a lot of places, or what looked to me to be tree sap. There's some right there. Looks like tree sap to me. It feels like tree sap. It's kind of gummy. But we'll remove all that. Either the strip wash or the decon or the clay bar will get rid of that. And if you left that there, I can't really tell if it's bonded. It looks like it is bonded, but it doesn't seem, at least right now, to have embedded into the clear, if in fact there is any clear on this paint. But if it has, we'll buff that up and minimize that to stop it from getting any worse if it has done any damage. We'll do the windows. You know, like there's a dent right there where something flew up and hit it. There's a few spots like that, but I don't do body work. Just you know, a few spots like right down there on the bumper. This bumper was hammered pretty good apparently by that deer. You can see there the major damage done by the deer. But we'll get started on this thing. Even though it's cool and it's raining, won't stop me. If y'all find this somewhat educational and you kind of like the entertainment value of it, if there is any, please hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified of any new videos that I put up, and you'll be able to continue this journey along. I'll try to document it for you and explain some of the procedures and products and see what we have here. I may have to put this one aside a little bit later on today. There's another customer supposedly wants to come by, has a full-size Silverado, wants me to take a look at it. Anyway, we'll catch y'all later, folks. Thank you very much.